Today we're going to be exploring my desk, which is currently behind me, if you've not already noticed. It's been the background of a couple of my videos in the past. Actually, it's been like 6 months since I set this up, and I've never actually made a video talking about everything that I'm currently using. So I thought we should maybe do that today. As with every video, there'll be links in the description below if you want to find out more about any item you see today. Alright, let's start off with what you probably came for, sitting behind me right here. So this is the 32-inch ultra-wide curved monitor by LG. The actual model number will be in the description below. So far from my 6 months of using it, it's completely changed my workflow. I used to just do everything off of my laptop screen, which we'll actually get to the laptop in just a second, which was just 13 inches. Now with this extra real estate of being 32 inches and ultra-wide, it's just mind-blowing. So the curve is quite subtle, but you'll definitely notice it if you're coming from a flat screen. It just wraps a little bit around your head, and what I've noticed is if you're moving stuff with Mac, so you can move from desktop to desktop, and when you do this, it actually feels like you're going in some sort of a circle because of that curve. It's really cool. It's hard to show on video since you're probably only watching this on a flat device, but hey, if you're watching this on a curved monitor, shout out to you. This monitor has a nice metallic stand that actually complements the curve quite nicely. It's also got a ton of ports on the back. I actually got this one with Thunderbolt. It has 2 Thunderbolt ports along with a bunch of other stuff like 2 HDMI, 2 USB, headphone, power cable, and I think a display port. I made a full video just talking about this monitor, so if you want to learn more, there is that video to watch next. Alright, so moving on, just left of the monitor is my 13-inch MacBook Air on this nice metallic stand, which I actually have been loving that metallic stand. It totally complements the whole scheme I've got going here, and it actually keeps the computer cool when it's closed. If you didn't know this about Mac laptops, they have this great feature where if you're plugged into power, you can plug a cord into the Thunderbolt, or if you have an HDMI port or USB-C on the new MacBook Pros, you can actually connect that to a monitor just like this and use the computer while it's shut, which is kind of mind-blowing if you've never seen that before, but it works, and I've been using it for the past 6 months. Another thing that I'll do from time to time is open up the laptop and use that screen as just another screen. It actually works flawlessly. You can just move stuff right over and everything works perfectly. This whole computer setup is really clean and efficient because I can just unplug the laptop and take it wherever I'm going, and then when I get done and come home at the end of the day, just plug it in, plug in the power. While it charges, I can use the computer with the monitor and everything is all good. Last thing about this monitor, not to drag on, is that you can actually use the ports, which is what I'm doing. We'll look at that in just a second. You can use the ports and it'll connect through the Thunderbolt into the computer. So my MacBook Air only has 2 USB ports, which is generally enough, but I have a couple of hard drives if I want to do stuff with more than one. It's really great to use those 2 USB ports on the back, and everything just works great. Alright, so since the laptop is closed, I do not use the keyboard or trackpad on the laptop itself. I use the Magic Keyboard and Magic Trackpad. I actually also have the Magic Mouse, but I rarely use the Magic Mouse. Not exactly sure why. I just like the trackpad better. It's kind of just a workflow thing. It works better when you have a trackpad for most things, but for certain items like repetitive things, I'll actually transfer to using the mouse, but that only happens once in a while. So if you're considering doing something like this, I would just go with the keyboard and trackpad. I don't think there's really a need for the Magic Mouse as well. If you need, you can buy like one of those wired USB mouses for really cheap if you ever need one, but I would be able to get away with just the keyboard and trackpad. Over to the right of those 2 items, I have my phone docking station. I'm currently using the iPhone 7 Plus. Camera on that is phenomenal, but that's a whole other video. So I have this nice metallic phone stand. It actually goes really well with the computer stand, which I mentioned before, and the stand for the monitor. So it all works really well. I personally like the whole design that we have going here. And then I have the lightning cable just sitting like on the phone stand, and then I can just plug it in when I'm ready to charge. Cool hack about this particular setup, the Magic Keyboard and trackpad use the lightning connector to charge, which you have to do like probably every month. I've found it's like every month. It's not too much. But if you don't have a lightning cable around, you have to struggle to find one. So I actually just use the phone lightning cable and just plug it right into the keyboard or trackpad and go away. And you can actually still use both the keyboard and trackpad while they are charging. Alright, let's try to speed this up so it doesn't take too long. Flanking the right of the monitor, I have my 3 terabyte external hard drive. This one does require power, so that just goes under the desk where we have cables and stuff. That uses USB 3, which connects right into the back of the monitor, which is also USB 3. And when I want to use it, it transfers the data through the Thunderbolt and everything works magically. That's amazing. I also have 2 other external hard drives. One is 1 terabyte, the other is 2 terabytes. Those are just portable ones with USB 3 and not very interesting there. On the audio side of things, I use my headphones basically all the time. I have these Beats Solo 2s, which have been really great. And that just runs right into the headphone jack on the computer, and I 3D printed this awesome headphone stand that actually just connects to the bottom of the table, so the headphones are out of the way, and then when I want to put them on, I just reach under the table and take them off the hook, and you're good to go. And there's no messing with all the cable stuff because it's just like the perfect length. The rare times when I'm not wearing my headphones, I have this nice sharper image like water speaker thing, which actually has surprisingly good audio for how small it is. And I have that cable running, it's a headphone jack running into the back of the monitor, and that works just fine. That one does require power to be used. The LEDs in the water part of the speaker actually go really well with the LEDs that go around the perimeter of the table, which I have really been loving this, the LED kind of look. I have a switch where I can turn them on and off, and there's just something about when you have the LEDs there that just like brings creativity, and I don't really know, it's just different, and it just feels really cool. And you can change with these ones, I can change the color, and you can actually have them like fade colors and jump colors and a whole bunch of stuff. All of it's great, and it just ties the whole setup together. I haven't actually talked about the desk yet. So this is from IKEA. It's their, I think it's like 40-inch desk. Not really sure. It's compacted wood stuff, and then the IKEA legs, which are telescoping, and you can adjust the height. So I have it perfectly matched to the height of this other table that I have behind me, which is good for holding stuff and just extra desk space. Cable management is so-so. When I started, everything was laying on the ground, so at least now stuff is up and like out of the way, so it's all on these little hook things, which I also 3D printed. That's great. So these little nice hooky deals are attached to the bottom of the table, and then I just put cords in there, and some of the bigger stuff is velcroed to the bottom of the table. It works. Nobody can see it, so it works. So I would really like to do more videos talking about desk stuff, either my desk or like other people's desks, or just setup stuff in general. I'm not sure how it's gonna look yet, but make sure to look for more kind of desk setup-y things in the future if you're interested in that. Once again, the links to everything in this video along with all my gear to shoot this are in the description below if you want to find out more. Thank you for watching, and as always, don't forget to keep it pro. Because I actually do quite well. There goes the